Hi guys, it's been a couple weeks. I know my last video I said that I was going to a support group and that I would report back on it, but that didn't happen because I actually had a very serious medical crisis. I was out backpacking with my boyfriend and I had a tubal pregnancy, which is where the fetus implants in your fallopian tube. It was in my right fallopian tube and it actually ruptured. So, like, my fallopian tube burst open while I was hiking, and I started bleeding internally, and I had to be helicoptered off the mountain. And I spent a couple days in the hospital. The surgeons were able to save my life, obviously. They couldn't save the tube. Um, it's no longer complete. But the doctor said I shouldn't have any problem having kids in the future if that's something I wanted to do. So I have been really happy ever since it happened, which sounds a little bizarre, but um, I guess, when you're that close to dying, I'm just so happy to be alive. And I was thinking, like, how can I make a lesson out of this that's appropriate for this blog? Because the happy to be alive lesson, I feel like it doesn't really speak to people who are in crisis, and especially, survivors of abuse. People telling you to be happy to be alive, sometimes it's hard to do that when you've been through really tough things like we have. But I think the lesson that I found from this, the second lesson, other than being happy to be alive, is listening to your body. Because I was, like I said, hiking down the mountain, and my boyfriend had to be back at work at 1 o'clock that day, and we started off at like 10 or 10:30. And I was in a lot of pain, but I kept trying to push through and push through because I didn't want to make him late for work, and I didn't want to be that girl that was, like, lagging behind. And a lot of you, if you've been an abuse survivor and it was like systematic and long-term abuse, which is usually accompanied by emotional abuse, like, you always want to please everyone. You don't want to be the one that's like disappointing people or holding people back. You're a people pleaser. That's a really big thing for us, is just trying to make everyone happy all the time and never wanting to make anyone upset. So that's what I was trying to do. But the more I went on, I got dizzy, and I was in so much pain, and I was so weak, and I just knew I couldn't make it down the mountain. I could have tried and pushed, but at that moment I listened to my body, and my body was telling me, stop. Don't go. Don't push yourself. You need help. You need help. You cannot do this. So I chose to listen to my body, and because of that, I'm here today. I'm alive. If I had kept pushing through it, I might have bled to death. So I think that's a really good lesson to take from it. We are all born with these instincts. Pain is there for a reason, obviously, but we have other instincts too about what feels right and what doesn't. But when you suffer abuse, those instincts get warped because people tell you that you're wrong, and they take over your body as their own. So it's not under your control anymore. And after a while, you get to be numb to that. You're numb to the things in your own body because, at least for me, when it came to sexual experiences, I would just shut my mind off. So there was a huge disconnect between my mind and my body and what I was feeling. And eventually that led on to my emotions too. I always am disconnected from what I'm feeling because I'm not putting myself first, I'm putting everyone else first. And part of that is a defense mechanism. If something uncomfortable is happening to you, you just shut down. And I know it's been a huge problem for me, and I imagine that it's been problematic for other survivors as well. But this really, really taught me, like, you know what, it doesn't matter if you're going to make someone else upset or inconvenience someone else. You really have to listen to your body because it knows. Those instincts are there for a reason. So, I mean, I know I'm not cured overnight or anything. I'm still going to have some work to do to learn to be in touch with myself, both emotionally and physically. But it was a big wake up call to me to say, you know what, you know best. You know what's best for you and your body. So it's nice to, like, take control of that again, away from your abusers who had control of it for so long. Um, So maybe next week I'll do the support group. It might be a couple weeks while I get back on my feet. But as always, if you have any stories to share, send me your video and I'll post it here. Or you can send it to me in a story form, like an email, and I'll read your story for you on a video. And I just want to say thank you guys for being there. I hope this is helping because I think it's helping me to do it. So I hope it's helping you guys at home. But all right, take care, guys.